Super Bowl.
Broadcasting from Radio Row inside the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are tuned into Sideline Sports Talk Network's The W Show on 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Brought to you by Stockman Law Firm, the Solar Center, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, Gates Barbecue, Positivity Water, Soiree Steak and Oyster House, the Right Tally Tax Preparation, Dillard's Zona Rosa, KC Wheat Spin 360, Derek Thomas Neil Smith III and Long Foundation, Phenomenal Kids Child Care Learning Center, XC Fright, Studio Plush, Sierra Fonseca, Hairstylist in New York Life.
Another great guest. Kansas City Chiefs fans will know this guy very well. Chiefs President Mark Donovan, how you doing, sir?
I'm great. Good to be here.
Great to be here as well. We thank you for your time, and you know it's been quite the run the last 5 years. Talk about that, because I there's people that say, oh, we're not going to make the trip because you know we'll be back. We'll be back. So can you talk about that just a little bit?
Yeah, it's always special, right? You hit the ground and it hits you.
Right.
And the first thing that hits you is just how grateful we are to be in this position.
Yeah.
Again.
Of course.
I think the second thing that hits you is that again point, that you realize how hard it is to get in this game.
Of course.
Right. And exponentially harder to get in year after year after year, especially back to back.
Yeah.
Of course.
So there's a true appreciation for the opportunity that we have in front of us, and a lot of excitement and, like I said, a lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of ups and downs this season. Was there any thought in your mind like, hey, man, we may have to just, chalk this one up?
Always believe, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I've been saying this all week, but I think that when we all look back on this season, we're going to appreciate even more a couple things. One, how good this defense has been all year long. And number two, how this team is special in the sense that they never lost that belief.
Okay.
Like, even after that Christmas Day game, it wasn't, okay, I guess we're not going to Vegas. It was, what do we need to do to get this back on track? And it's one thing to say it and to think about how we're going to do it. It's another to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think is really special about this football team.
Did that tell you anything about the organization within itself?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the entire organization having that belief, right? There isn't a panic. There isn't a doubt. There isn't a woe is me. It's a true belief. And I think that's a part of what makes us successful. There's all kinds of cliches, but one of the ones out there is success begets success. So you're winning makes you more likely to win more. And a part of that is just the experience and the confidence you get from that. And I think that helped us get through this season. There was that confidence that, no, we got the guys.
Yeah. And
we know how to do this.
And being out here, a lot of people have asked us, what's it like being in Kansas City right now, being from Kansas City? And my answer is it's a holiday every Sunday. It is a holiday. Small businesses are booming, the bars are booming. So just talk about how the community right now and how you guys are impacting the Kansas City itself, how much of a party it is every Sunday.
Yeah, first and foremost, more gratitude to the kingdom.
Right.
They do make it a party, and they make the experience at Arrowhead and GHA Field like none other. And we saw that probably most impressively with that Miami game.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you could barely walk 10 feet without having to go back inside. And the fans are out there in force and all game long. So it's an exciting, I've been saying this as well. It's an exciting and special time to be part of this region. It's we're grateful to be part of it. But when you really look, I think, again, if you really look back on this time, Kansas City is on a trend it has never been on before.
Yeah.
And we're in conversations we've never been in before.
Thanks.
And, you go back and say, how cool is it that we all get to be a part of that?
Right.
We all get to experience it.
Yeah.
We've got how many kids in Kansas City have grown up and never had a losing Chiefs season
Wild.
in their life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now add to that 4 out of 6 Super Bowls, right? I mean, That's not how we grew up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We're trying not to take Super Bowls for granted, which is
Right,
the craziest
right.
flip of the coin and beyond.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's fun.
the first Super Bowl that you won with the Chiefs was against the 49ers.
Yes.
So to be right back here again, playing them again,
Mhm.
what is that feeling like?
Well, first and foremost, it's going to be a huge challenge.
Mhm.
They're a really good football team. They're a really good organization. You know, a lot of things we've talked about that make us successful, they do the same things. And it's going to be, we look at it as an amazing opportunity. It is going to be a challenge, and it's going to be, I think it'll be sort of a microcosm of this season. It's going to take 60 minutes of really good football.
Yeah.
And hopefully, things go our way, and hopefully fourth quarter, 15's got the ball in his hands, and we got a chance to go win another one.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Of course, Usher's performing the halftime performance.
Yeah.
Do you have an all-time favorite Usher song? Can you give us a couple bars from it if you can?
I'll tell you what, there are too many to choose from, so I'm going to plead the fifth on the favorite one.
Okay.
But I am really excited for Usher.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of, it's not throwback.
Mhm.
It's more celebrating the impact that he has had on music and culture. And I think it's just an amazing stage for him to be on.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy the league figured out a way to get him. And I'm really excited for the show.
Yeah.
I will be totally honest though. When I'm watching our Super Bowl,
Mhm.
I'm doing other things during halftime.
Oh yeah.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
My kids will tell me about it, and I'll watch the replay. But,
I was gonna say you had
Good answer.
Rihanna last
Yeah,
year,
exactly.
Usher this year. Now, just speaking of the music, because Kansas City was on trend when it came to the swag surf. So if they play it, are you ready to swag when you surf? Are you ready?
I have my daughter took me through a tutorial.
Oh, really?
Exactly how to swag surf, and she does it much better than I do. But I've got the basics. down.
Okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
matters.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
that.
so
Now, Mark, you mentioned GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Talk about that. And I know the Royals are planning to do some things. What are you guys planning over there?
So April 2nd is a
Mhm.
really important day. That's when the ballot initiative will go to Jackson County voters. We're asking our Jackson County friends and season ticket members and partners and citizens to extend this great partnership.
Mhm.
I think a couple points that need to be made there. First of all, to answer your question, the Royals' plan is to be downtown
Right.
with a brand new building,
Mhm.
and I think that'll be an economic driver for this entire region.
Of course.
We're really excited about the plans that I've seen there. Our plan is to take this iconic building
Mhm.
and make it even better.
Right.
Now, an important point for our voters and fans to know is that it takes an awful lot of money and investment to keep the lights on at Arrowhead,
Of course.
right? So the building, the cement was poured in 1970.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was finished in 72.
Yeah.
So we spend, when I first got here, we were spending $5 to $6 million a year
Right.
just to sort of fix concrete, make sure everything's safe. Last year we spent over $23 million
Oh my
Mm.
gosh.
just to keep the building up. So a big portion of the tax that we have
Mhm.
goes to that, and will continue to go to that.
Okay.
We'll invest significantly more private money to make it even better on top of that.
Right.
So the first step is April 2nd. It is the exact same tax we've had. It
Okay.
is not a new tax.
Okay.
It is not more money. In fact, we had a conversation with the county executive and the legislators, and we put the plan in place to say, hey, let's extend this tax. Let's
Mhm.
just keep it going. And for that, you'll get a brand new building downtown. You'll get a renovated Arrowhead.
Mhm.
And they came back to us and said, we need assistance in a couple areas. Can you help us?
Okay.
So we looked at it and said, there are two particular places where we can. The first is we took a financial burden
Mhm.
off the county to insure the buildings. So
Okay.
you think of like your house insurance, your car insurance, and like, well, think about it from a stadium perspective.
Mm.
That's millions and millions of dollars on an annual basis.
Mhm.
That used to be part of the money that went to the teams, or that the county covered. They paid for that bill.
Right.
We are now taking that burden.
Okay.
The second thing we did is it gets real complicated, but there's a part of the money that is really a park tax.
Okay.
And that money went to the actual stadium district so that we could keep that park upright. Well, we're giving that tax back to the county
Yeah.
so they can use that money in different ways outside of our
Okay.
those concessions will generate over $200 million to the county. So the important point for voters to realize is that we've taken a really, really good partnership that has paid all kinds of dividends to this region and made it better. So we're excited about that. We're excited about what this means for the region. Last week, we put out last year's economic impact study that we do. We, as our organization, our team, generated over almost $1 billion in economic impact last year.
Wow.
5,000 jobs last year.
Wow.
Of people in Jackson County.
That's big.
So that's what this partnership does. That's what it delivers.
Of course.
And we want to continue that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely.
Looking forward to the next season. Do you guys start working on that like now or top of the year? Or how does that look? Because I mean, it's a couple of days left in the season, and then I mean, just looking forward to the draft and all that.
Yeah.
How are you guys kind of planning on making, I don't know, maybe the fan experience different going in the next season?
Yeah, so let's talk. That's a great question. Let's talk about it from two different angles. The first is the football side, right? So the reality is, we talk about 4 of the last 6 seasons being the Super Bowl. Every single one of those years, our football operations team starts the offseason 6 weeks behind every other NFL team.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, we have been preparing for these games, while other teams who stopped playing are preparing for the draft and the offseason, free agency, and everything like that. So Brett Veach and his team deserve an enormous amount of credit for all the work that they do during this time frame. They're behind the scenes doing that work in addition to preparing for Sunday. And if you look at their track record over the last few years, they've been really, really successful under really challenging circumstances. So that's the first thing is our guys they're unbelievable in how they've done that over the years. And again, it's a good problem to have, right? You want to be 6 weeks behind everybody because that means you're in this game. And then on our side, in addition to what we look at every single year, what can we do with the stadium differently? How can we improve the experience? What can we do with parking? What can we do with ingress, egress? All those things factor in. We're doing that at the same time as we're getting ready for this game as well. And add to that the World Cup. So this offseason will be the first offseason we actually do some infrastructure construction to get ready for the World Cup in 26. So that's another project on top.
Y'all got a lot of work. A lot of work ahead of you.
And Mark, before we get you out of here, I got to ask you about the Taylor Swift effect. I got to ask you about that. How much have you seen just for economical growth within the team from that?
Yeah, look, it's first and foremost, the Taylor Swift effect is real and it's awesome.
Swiftie,
we love it. I want to make 2 points. One is that she absolutely has an impact on the NFL and the Chiefs. We're appreciative of that. This brand has been growing internationally the last 6 years, like it's never grown before. And we were on an amazing trend, and then this happened, which none of us consider and say, here's our strategy. So that happened, and it's just exponential. Both, nationally, domestically, and also internationally. Think about the timing of our Germany game. It's one thing, we spent 3 years getting ready for that game, and it was an amazing success. And then she is an international superstar, right? So you got fans from all over the world who now have another connection point, which is the NFL and the Chiefs. So it's been fantastic. I do want to make the point there that we as an organization have been very, very focused on being really respectful of their relationship. Right. So, we have not done the stuff that other people have done. And it's been intentional. Like this is great. Let them enjoy this. We're not going to try to do much with it. And the reality is that we've benefited from it without having to do that stuff.
That's cool. Awesome. We appreciate your time today, sir. Good luck on Sunday.
Fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Say it then. Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Who the GOAT? Big as the what? Big as the Super Bowl.
Broadcasting from Radio Row inside the Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are tuned into Sideline Sports Talk Networks, the W Show on 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Brought to you by Stockman Law Firm, the Soul of Santa, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, Gates Barbecue, Positivity Water, Soiree Steak and Oyster House, The Right Tally Tax Preparation, Dillard's Zona Rosa, KC We Spin 360, Derek Thomas Neil Smith III and Long Foundation, Phenomenal Kids Child Care Learning Center, XC Fright, Studio Plush, Sierra Fonseca, hairstylist in New York.